I expect like people from abroad, mostly publishers, game developers, even VCs, would watch this episode. What would you, where would you position us as a region? Because they are interested. They are seeing news around the region. Where would you say we are in the if we set the goal as becoming a gaming hub?
Yep.
And we reverse we reverse back. Where do you think we are today? Where would you position us? And how long do we still need to become a gaming hub for these guys to understand when and where to intervene?
I mean, it's a great question. Timelines are always tough to predict, even for the prophet, in the sense that we can control a lot of factors, but because you can't control everything, timelines often rely on some amount of luck, some amount of, the right person in the right place at the right time, making the right decision to drive things forward, right? And so while I'm convinced of that end goal, there will be a global gaming hub here, the timeline, I could probably argue for 5 years, and I could argue for 20 years, and I could argue for probably every timeline in between. Like there's factors outside of all of our control that will determine how fast we get there.
Yep.
I think for people on the outside, you have to spend time here, right? Like you have to embed yourself here, or at least have a person embedded in the ecosystem here to understand the nuance both of doing business here, the nuance of what it is to build a gaming company here, the nuance of all the players in government and private sector here. Like it's not the kind of thing you show up for a day or two, learn and have mastered and go back and figure out how to invest here intelligently. So you need boots on the ground. You need a permanent presence. Otherwise, you're just a tourist again. I think what I would, the way I would inspire those people, though, is you have all the elements here of major success. You have a geographic location that is perfectly between East and West. So from a gaming reach standpoint, from a where are my customers standpoint, how do I serve those customers very efficiently? You have maybe one of the most perfect locations on the planet. That's the first thing. You have young populations, both in the Middle East and in Africa, which is a market that is accessible from here. You have governments, whether they do it perfectly or not, and we've spent a lot of time on that still have way more conviction and more skin in the game than governments in the West.
Definitely.
You have opportunity that, there's no dominant AAA studios that have come out of here yet. There's no huge publishers that gatekeep every game that comes out of here, right? Like there's still white space. There's no dominant content platform. There's no, right? Like there's nothing that has been won yet. So from a where are we on the hockey stick, we're still, I think, very early. And to me, as if I'm trying to evangelize this to outsiders, that's exciting. Why would you go to a place where you're already 3/4 of the way up the hockey stick if you can come to a place where you haven't even hit that inflection point yet?
I love this. Cool. So guys, Paul is giving you the perfect advice.